So, a few weeks ago, a 200-page document containing a bunch of emails from Sega of America leaked online. Well, see, these emails were from 1996. Now, to some, this might not be all that interesting, but those people are wrong. This is very important for video game history or something like that. But I think some people they've taken it a bit too far. Some have suggested that these emails rewrite the entire history of Sega during this time, something I was concerned about as I'm working on a video about E3 1996. For those that don't know, Tom Kalinske, along with many others from Sega of America, managed to somehow break into the North American video game market around this time with their unique marketing campaigns and this lovable hedgehog thing. Now, pretty much every retelling of the story goes the same way. Kalinske and Sega of America were doing exceptionally well. They competed head-on with Nintendo in North America, who, prior to this, had a near monopoly. And this made some higher-ups in the Japanese division envious or jealous. And through both incompetence and what you might call borderline sabotage, Sega of Japan managed to screw over Sega of America and Kalinske. This resulted in the disastrous launch of the Sega Saturn, which eventually kind of resulted in the death of Sega as a console manufacturer. Soon after this, Kalinske, feeling betrayed, would leave the company. But in the wake of these new leaks, some people have suggested that maybe Tom didn't feel so betrayed. Maybe Sega of Japan and America didn't have such a contentious relationship. And maybe, just maybe, Tom has been falsely representing himself as the hero of this story. So, I did a live stream where I went over all of these documents, or most of them, and I've cut that stream together for you to enjoy. It is one thing to hear/read about how well we are doing in Japan versus Sony. It's another to personally witness it. I just visited 10 retail stores in Tokyo, most in Akihabara, which is the tech district. It's now spring break, so the crowds of teens/college kids are huge. We are killing Sony, which, in fact, due to Virtua Fighter's success and popularity over there, they were at least beating them. In every store, Saturn hardware is sold out, and there are stacks of PlayStation. The retailers commented they can't compare the true sales rate because Saturn sells out before they can measure accurately. Our interactive displays are better. Our software displays in stocking far superior. It is not unusual to see 40 to 50 copies of Panzer II or Virtua Fighter 2 stocked in even small stores, and they're selling fast. I wish I could get all of our staff, salespeople, retailers, analysts, media, etc. to see and understand what's happening in Japan. Then they would understand why we will win here in the US eventually. How do we show that at E3, Tom? Just gonna jump in right here for a second. Yeah, for anybody that watched my E3 1995 video, this shouldn't be all that surprising. Sega was winning in Japan at launch. The Sega arcade titles were hugely popular over there, and this, along with a few other factors, including pricing, actually gave them the advantage in Japan. Kalinske wasn't defending Sega in some unrealistic way. This is actually what was happening. They were winning. And I think this email has been taken out of both historical and business context. But yeah, I do not think anything in this 200-page document means that Tom has been lying for all these years. But I'll let you continue. Just watch the rest if you want. I've been through these once. I don't know what this says. It appears to say, screw be he technology. What is bootleg 96-97? What were fiscal year 96 sampling limitations? RPG's most stupid approach. Very compelling for the brand strategy. So this is the strategies. You know, they talk about this a lot of what they want to do. Position Saturn as the technically superior next-gen system that provides the best gameplay experience. Gonna be a little bit tough. Not gonna lie, gonna be a little bit tough for Sega at this point. Leverage exclusive Saturn peripherals, including Internet Connector and new analog controller. 3D control pad. I've never seen this before. Ensure the best Sony titles come to Saturn with equal quality. and ensure that the top 10 titles simultaneously release on Saturn and Sony. That is very ambitious, you know? Very, very ambitious goals that I don't think they were ever going to achieve. Marketing. Focus first half marketing efforts on closing the perceived technological gap between Saturn and Sony, as well as communicating the reduced price. That seems like a good idea. I mean, clearly this is what Sega was thinking was their biggest issue, was the reduced price. I like seeing this. Focus second half efforts on $1.99 price in thematic marketing campaigns. Nights back to school. There was still, as much as you would hear about Sega targeting older demographics, there was still a lot of references throughout this document to back to school as being a big time for games. Developed strong sports library marketing efforts to position Saturn as the high technology choice for sports enthusiasts. That would be a good opportunity. Make the Saturn experience more accessible to potential customers by increasing the number of retail interactives and looking for who gives a shit. Issues. So yeah, again, issues means like, oh, I'm sorry, I should explain. This means stuff they want to fix. So they want to get, instead of a November release, October 20th, instead of August, June 15th. For some reason, the great idea to get both of these things released on the same day. That's a great plan. So you just get basic, you know, planning. Gamers Day. So strategy for the Genesis, I don't really think this matters all that much. It's just keep the Genesis alive, make it cheap. $99 SRP with a hit game. Still pretty expensive if you think about it. Hardware carryover aggressive. Fourth quarter focus should be to improve hardware velocity. What do you mean? You gotta throw them faster at the customer? Key issues. January 1996, Sega Saturn. Given a $50 price differential, PlayStation could once again outsell Saturn 7-1 with the launch of Ultra 64 Nintendo 64 in April-May at $249. Sega Saturn could become the number 3 system. Wow. Yeah, that is a key issue right there for January 1996. Continue to reinforce hardware price. Work with Sega of Japan to agree to maintain hardware pricing parity with PlayStation and to be competitive with Ultra 64 at launch. This is interesting. So they do admit that they have to work with Sega of Japan to maintain pricing parity. They can't just go on their own. Again, not necessarily looking awful for Kalinske because of that, but third-party support of Sega Saturn is waiting due to PlayStation early success. Crystal Dynamics and EA may stop future Saturn development. Wow. Wow. That is big. I mean, not really. Staffing. Headcount down by 3 managers in the last 3 months. There's no potential impact on quota. Wow, that is how you make a great calendar software. Just Genesis third party. Really bold strategy there. Genesis gained 4% of hardware unit market share between October and November, climbing to 49.5%. That's kind of impressive. Think about that. 49.5%. The hardware unit market share. I'm assuming this is Sega of America, so almost 50%. Almost getting up to Nintendo. These are top 10 16-bit software titles. And NFL 96, Mortal Kombat 3. It's cool to think that Batman Forever could make it on that list, you know. Average price. Look at the average price, everybody. This is $1996. You know how much that'd be worth in 2023 dollars? Let's see. Garfield. Garfield's coming out, guys. What are the average prices for the Game Gear? Why is it not loading in? That would be pretty expensive for, like, you know, we're talking $77 is the equivalent to get Batman Forever. Think about that. Game Gear key issues. I believe they were working on the Nomad by this point, so selling and select through create significant inventory exposure. How many more holiday seasons does Game Gear have? Formulate exit strategy. Wow, that really shows you. Okay, 32X Nomad peripherals brand review. Low orders across all products for the 32X. Wow, what a shock. Sega of America PR. Fiscal year goals and initiatives for the Saturn. Align all product messages against perceived weaknesses. Technical capabilities, graphics, gameplay experiences. Okay, you're telling me this is your perceived weaknesses is gameplay experience. Imagine if this leaked for, like, Xbox today, or, like, Sony today, and they're like, okay, we gotta get our PR team to really combat our lack of technical capability, graphics, or gameplay experience. We have to combat the fact that we suck. Second, communications issues / recommendations. Issue: Sega communications from different regions are not coordinated on key issues, resulting in many mixed messages. Issue: Sega of America does not have access to Sega of Japan / AM producers, which limits media coverage of Sega of Japan AM games. Consumer imagery: most advanced technology better than other systems. 24%. I'm assuming this is polling. People see the PlayStation as more advanced than the Saturn. There's a 16-point differential between the people that saw the PlayStation as really cool versus the Saturn. How did Sony do it? How'd they do it? Sony is generally perceived to be cheaper. Sony's product software looks better than ours. Oof. Sega equity has been damaged by 32X and Sega CD. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most poignant thing. Like, at least they recognize that fact. You know? Sega of America Consumer Research Review. What do we need to do to obtain a 50% share? There is no way you're getting a 50% share, Sega of America. Just don't even try. You have no chance of getting 50% market share this generation. To improve the product software to at least parity with Sony. Wow. Man, imagine if it was that simple today. Imagine if, like, Microsoft and Sony are sitting in there and they're like, how do we win this generation? Let's just be better. In the short term, create a price advantage while never being at a disadvantage. It's a non-statement. It's just saying, be cheaper. Is this how easy it was to be market research in 1996? Is this how easy it's to be market research today? Create better advertising that maintains a consistent focus on product superiority. Lie. Makoto Kineshiro. Look at that pronunciation. Asked me to forward you the following SOA promotions that are either in the market right now or have been promoted within the last 60 days. The total promotions represent over 100 million packages of products with Sega sales materials on them and over 30 million of television exposure. Oh, look. It's free Sonic Watch. Yo, dudes, check this out. Free watch with purchase. It's not really free, then. Critical software issues for the Sega Saturn. Now we get some spicy stuff. Knights. Game name not final. That is an issue. That's an issue. I agree. Knights probably would have been a better name than Knights into Dreams, in my opinion. Sonic. Must ship on time November 8th street date. Manage timeline, aggressively reduce quota. Complete legal searches. Must finalize title name. When is Sonic Extreme? So Sonic Extreme would have been likely the game. Sonic Extreme. Complete legal searches. Internet connector. Issues. Minimal info available. Action required. Make it. That's the action required. It's just everything. Sonic 3D. Issues. Game cannot slip from current timetable to make November 8th street date. Consumers have strong anticipation for this game and expect it to be A++ quality. I feel like people will be a little bit disappointed. Fiscal year 98. Man, they are moving quick. Just jumped another year. So in fiscal year 98, they will just... I mean, all they're going to do is introduce the most popular and technically advanced Sega arcade games to the Saturn. They probably don't exist yet, but there's going to be 4 to 6 of them, so that's going to be great. Establish a commanding lineup of Sega sports titles delivered in the season's sweet spot. Include all major sports genres, and fill consumers' library needs with secondary genres. That means like ping pong. Utilize polygons instead of sprites to deliver 3D environments for virtually all titles, unless technically inappropriate. So, do it, unless you can't do it. Develop at least 1 to 2 breakthrough games that leverage Saturn technology, which PlayStation cannot duplicate. Oh, just do something that the PlayStation can't. Yeah, it's so vague. It's just, like, you might as well just write, make best game ever. Develop at least 6 to 8 games that have internet compatibility. Sure, why not? NBA Action issues game quality. It sucks. Action required. Make it better. Make it better and make it connect to the internet. Microprose NFL. Problem. Extremely low quality. Action required. Kill it or sell it. NFL 97. Issues. Lead programmer quit. Action required. Must immediately find a lead programmer. Title must ship in October. Yeah, that's a problem. You're both shipping late already, and the lead programmer quit. But at least Worldwide Soccer 2 has no problems whatsoever. Max TT, still no developer identified. How to fix that? Assign developer immediately. And also explore network compatibility. And maybe get it by Christmas. We don't have a developer yet, but we'll get it. Daytona Remix. The problem is it just doesn't exist. Okay, then we get to the NBA action with the issues of based on NHL Engine, which was poorly designed. Does not meet Sega sports quality standards. Clearly, your standards were either pretty good or really bad. I mean, if you're already planning games that just simply don't have developers and you're like, we gotta get it out by Christmas, that could be part of the problem. Sony Sports NBA game, extremely high quality and creating buzz in the industry. So what they're saying is the problem we have is what we have is so bad and what they have is so good. So the action needed is just delay it a few months. Give it online connectivity. Significantly improve look and feel of the game in just like 4 months. This is pretty cool though. Cool, look at that. Look at that exclusive title. The Elder's Scroll. They almost got the name right. Tomb Raiders. It's not Tomb Raider, that's Tomb Raiders, that's the plural version. I've already sent this to the salespeople with real positive, note the incorrect spelling of positive from this email from March 30th, 1996. I asked each of them to keep letting their account know about the trend in third-party support. I told each of them to find a way to get us close to equal in sell-through by June/July, so that going into our power months we can be in... Okay, come on. Come on. This, are you messing with me, right? Position positive? This kind of news is what the accounts need to hear. Your reports on store visits have also been sent to the salespeople. Every bit of... Is this a regional dialect? From Tom. Another example of why we will win. To be fair, he sent that before he received this email and found out that his team couldn't spell words properly. I discussed with Carrie and would like to let you know the following things to be done for Internet Saturn at E3. 1. Select access provider. 2. Test browser on both Modern and Pluto with access provider. The unreleased variant of the Sega Saturn. Revised version of the Saturn with an onboard netlink modem. New chassis and bodywork. That looks pretty... Okay, this is, now that this is Sony's fall September release feature title, let's find out their marketing plans. TV, creative direction, media budget, promotion, etc. Reflect back on a night's plans. You know, what that game was, the most popular game on the PlayStation of that year, was the famous Crash Bandicoot. There it is. Guys, gotta be careful, Crash Bandicoot's coming. This is why you lost. On my trip to SOJ, this was a topic of grave concern and certainly will be discussed at next week's Global Review. Sony has taken the lead from us in a short period of time. The great NFL football game day product and now NBA basketball game. We are struggling to produce a football game in time for next fall season. We missed last year altogether. You spelled altogether wrong, Tom. I want you to know that. The marketing group is not confident the current, no space, basketball game, capitalized, is good enough to even ship this spring. It's clearly not equal to Sony's all caps NBA shootout. Tittle. Is this because autocorrect didn't exist yet? Is there a reason we're talking about the Saturn Sports Tittles? Sega of Japan, senior management, and I feel we have to be certain our NFL game this fall is a superior product and shippable in time for football season. Not at the end of it in December. Yeah, just make it better and make it faster. That'll be easy. What steps do you recommend we take to ensure this? Ensure, not insure. So insure, yeah, protect against loss, damage, or injury. And ensure is to make certain that something will occur. Should we add more talent to the team? Yeah, just add more people. That'll work. Can we incentivize them to ensure the schedule? Can I incentivize you to learn how to fucking spell? I'm sorry. I'm a little harsh. It was 1:33 p.m. on a Friday. You're probably ready to get off of work. We cannot afford to miss either schedule or quality on this tittle. On the larger subject of sports, what do you recommend we do to recapture the talent and lead we have apparently lost? Apparently. With this level of expertise, how could we possibly lose our lead? Apparently. Okay, and then, shouldn't we make a bigger deal about Nomad for this Father's Day? Yeah, that's what fathers wanted, was the Sega Nomad. End of school, start of summer period. And then the response was, we evaluated the limited marketing budget for this year and decided this was not the place to put the money. We have almost no Genesis media this year, and I wouldn't want to spend the little we have on this product during this time period. Tom, you're going to hear this a lot this year, so you need to realize when we cut every corner, there isn't much left. And Tom says, I wasn't speaking of TV media, rather ad slicks, sales emphasis. Reminder of the importance of Father's Day / graduation, end of school, summer vacation, etc. It's a G-God reason for an ad. We need to find a way other than just TV to move goods. Tom K. So from Carrie Bradford. I received your memo asking when we would be able to offer access to online services from the Saturn/internet browser. According to CompuServe and AOL, we could not access their conventional proprietary content services without significant changes to their technology. As such, they do not see a solution to offer their existing content through the Saturn. Basically, they didn't know they couldn't use it. So from Tom, okay, then how do we proceed? What kind of deal can we make with a carrier? Is this also worth discussing with Yahoo? You know, honestly, in 1996, yeah, probably, Tom. Tom Kalinske says, we need a plan for this product for the Saturn Internet peripheral. My feeling is that it is one of our key strategies for E/3 and for the year in terms of positioning Saturn as better than higher tech than Sony, and as a true multimedia capable machine. I believe we need a TV commercial and print ad for the fall, which we had or a storyboard for E3. We are still hoping to have an internet-compatible game, either Roach Racer or a title to be acquired for Christmas delivery. My guess for quota is 150K, but that its impact on our business is far greater than this. Let's put this plan together and discuss. Tom K. Tom, my favorite tittle is Roach Racer. This is from Mr. Shinobu Toyoda. FYI, Mr. Awakawa of Nintendo told third parties lately that their doors decreased from 10,000 from 20,000 at peak and expressed his concerns that some retailers are getting out of the video game business due to low margin. Tom Kalinske says, I've been saying the same thing. If the video game industry does not find a way of increasing retailer margins, we'll soon be left with only specialty store distribution. In the past year, we have seen many retailers exit the business, i.e. Macy's, Shopko, Hills, Kohl's, etc. Wow, yeah, that's actually true. More will this year if margin is not increased. The toy industry went through this several years ago and had too many changes to address this. FYI, Tom K. That is a very good point, honestly. That, guys, I think is it. That's 200 pages of the Sega leak.